But, you may ask, is not the controversy over now? Did not the Pope at the Vatican Council of 1870 bear witness to himself and declare that every theory was wrong which made the organ of infallibility other than himself? But what time of day is this to find the answer to a question so fundamental? Can we believe that Christ, before he left this earth, provided his church with an infallible guide to truth, and that it took her more than 1,800 years before she could find out who that guide was? It seems almost labor wasted to proceed with the proofs I was about to lay before you of the neglect or inability of the infallible judge of controversies to settle controversies, when it took him so long to settle that controversy in which his own privileges were so vitally concerned. Let me trace, however, something of the history of that other dispute which, after it had raged for centuries, Pius IX undertook to settle: the question about the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary. In a future lecture, either this term or the next, I mean to give you an explanation of this doctrine which will make you acquainted with some of the most thorny speculations of scholastic history and theology. What I am at present concerned with is only the history of the doctrine, taken as a specimen history of a dispute within the Church of Rome. The history of a dispute is the best evidence as to what authority for settling disputes the disputants believe in. When I speak of authority for settling disputes, it is well to remind you of a little ambiguity about this word authority. Authority. We might mean the authority of superior knowledge or merely of official position. Any judge may have authority to decide a question of law in the sense that his decision will bind the parties and that they must submit to it. But there are some judges who, on account of their knowledge and ability, rank as legal authorities and have set precedents from which their successors differ with reluctance, while in this sense of the word, other judges are of no authority at all. Now, everyone will grant to the Pope the authority of official position. He has power to declare the doctrine of his church, to depose any ecclesiastic who rejects his decision, or even to excommunicate any layperson who opposes himself to it. But we might say as much for the Synod of the Church of Ireland. It too can declare the doctrine of that church, and can make the acceptance of that doctrine a condition of clerical or lay communion. But now there is this difference between these two kinds of authority, that the interference of the authority of confessed superior knowledge is welcomed and willingly submitted to, while it is often just the reverse with the other kind of authority. If two of you were disputing on a subject of which you had little knowledge, suppose, for instance, that you knew nothing of anatomy, and that you had a difference of opinion how many ribs a man has. If a skilled anatomist were present, you would dispute no longer, but ask him, and then the dispute would be at an end. There has been long and warm controversy as to the authorship of the letters of Junius. Suppose a sealed volume were discovered, to which the author had committed his secret. People would not refuse to break the seal because they had misgivings whether their own theory were the true one. All parties would say, "Let us know the truth." And when the truth was known, the controversy would be at an end.